Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the WSBA here on Twitch for Wolverine Studios. It is our Draft Day Sports Pro Basketball 2021 online league that we are running, a multiplayer league. Hopefully, a good number of our owners will be in the chat tonight to witness the excitement of this sim. We are on November 1st in the sim date, and we'll be simming the first half of November tonight. As always, I want to welcome all of our followers to the channel. Our follower number continues to increase, as does our subscriber number, which has now reached a new high for us. So thank you to all those subscribers, especially our latest subscriber, Genie2369, who subscribed with his Twitch Prime account. If you have Amazon Prime, don't forget you can link that to your Twitch account, and you get one free subscription every month. And hopefully you'll use that on us and re-up it every month with us, and support the channel in support of the content that we're doing. We had a great Developer Dynasty stream last night, and we'll have another one on Friday for college football. But tonight is all about the WSBA. So first of all, big news in the land of the WSBA. We have a new owner who has joined the league. The Brooklyn Hoops are now claimed by Sean Marks. He will be taking over the Hoops, and we also have just gotten a new owner confirmed in our email tonight. He is not part of the league yet, but Kelly Avery will be taking over Golden State, so we'll be getting him set up after this stream. So we've got two new owners on board tonight, and looking still to fill a few spots in the league. If you're interested, go to draftdaysports.com/WSBA. And you can fill out the application to join up. So, quick recap. Here's a look at the standings as we head into November. Chicago leading the East at 8-0. Meanwhile, down in the West, Houston 7-0. Houston is a surprise there. Chicago was picked to be first by the season preview. Houston was picked like 10th in the West, so they are off to an amazing start. But we'll see what happens, as they do have a matchup this week. So we're going to go over to the screen and get ready to sim our first night of games here. And here we go. Hope to see everybody in the chat active tonight. We slowed down the speed a little bit so we can see the games a little bit better as they go through. Clarence Hopper with another big game. And Chicago moves to 9-0. And Houston suffers their first defeat of the year. So we will not have undefeated versus undefeated as Houston falls. Let's take a look at the top performers. Jason Demanby from the Commodores, 47. Georgie Dimitrova with 40, Clarence Hopper 38. Sean Foreman had 34, but I believe went down with an injury. He has a sprained ankle, so he's going to miss a couple weeks, it looks like. So tough break for the Moose there. And hello to all the guys. I see the chats coming in now. Keep them coming, boys. Good to see you all here tonight. Kirk Brewer, 19 assists for my Orlando Mystics. That's good news for me. Let's move on to November 2nd here. 4 games on the docket for this game, and including the Wasps. Can Charlotte do it? Can they get out of the 0-7 hole? And sound the trumpets. Start the party. Charlotte has done it. Charlotte has done it. They've won their first game of the season. Congratulations, Rizzo, and your Charlotte squad on getting that first win. Jason Demanby again, back-to-back. I feel we haven't called his name much. Let's take a look at him. He is a 4-star player, as we get to know our players here in the WSBA. Averaging 27.2 a game, 8.2 assists. He has that playmaker badge on him, so I guess we need to learn his name if he's going to be leading the points efforts here. Big slate of games here for November 3rd. Let's get it going, see what happens here. Ooh, bad loss for Orlando. Washington with a tough loss there. Dallas 121 win there. Toronto, Chris from GM Games picks up another W there. Denver in their effort for the number 1 pick. Successful there with a loss. Bootsy Migley. Love that name. We got some really interesting names in the league. Let's see. Gregory Willis from Minnesota leads the night with 43 points. Keith Rude on Minnesota with 18. Minnesota had themselves a game there against Golden State. And there is our new Brooklyn Hoops owner in the chat. Welcome to the chat. Tough loss for Brooklyn that day to Portland, though. Here we go. Here's the matchup we were hoping for. Houston and Chicago, hoping that Houston would have been 8-0, but we'll see if Chicago can keep it rolling here. And Chicago does. Who is going to stop Chicago? 10-0. They on a mission to have a perfect season. But so far, so good for the Bison. Is John Stackhouse with 43 for Boston leading the night. There's Shambatashvili with 11 assists on that stacked OKC team. Justin Brown, 11 rebounds in Chicago's win. He's been phenomenal this year for the Bison, averaging 20 and 11 a game. 5 Player of the Game awards for Justin Brown. On to the 5th. Yeah, I think, Chris, the trade deadline will be interesting as we'll see who rounds their way into contention and who's looking for that number 1 pick, who's chasing Charlotte. Denver doing their best with another loss there for that number 1 pick. OKC 9-1 now with that victory. and Cards is happy with his free win off of Charlotte. It's like the free square in bingo, apparently. Last night's top performer, Sean Roberts, 36. He was the first player of the week. And Marvin McDonald, yep, big game. 17 boards for him. And let's see what happens on a 6-game slate here. Toronto and the Commodores. Interesting matchup here. Both teams 7-2. That should be a good game at the end of this sim here. And Breeze is one of our frequent visitors in our chat. So Breeze, good to see you here. All we're doing here, Breeze, is a GM-only league. So you don't have to worry about setting up any of the strategies, the depth charts, or anything. We're just making trades, acquiring players, and handling the GM duties. So don't worry if if you're new to the game, don't have much experience. If you want to get on board, feel free to fill out that app and join in. Yeah, Dimitriova has been big for Toronto. A nice 37-point effort out of him. Van says depth charts are his favorite part. I like messing with it on the when I play my own leagues. But I think in this format, it lets us flow better with not having to constantly stop to update things or stuff like that. Chris says, "What's the right arrow mean?" It was, you can see it on this screen here, and the best performers. It's just I had Brooklyn loaded up, so it's to identify your team. So typically in a single player mode, you'd see your team as the default team that you're loaded up over here, and then it helps you identify when one of your guys was on that list. All right, let's see. 8 games. OKC 9-1, looking for that 10th win. Chicago, looking for win number 11. So let's take a look, see what happens here on the 7th. And James Warren with a triple-double for Philly. Chicago, another W. That is a tough team. Chicago looking like the early favorites here. Breeze, don't worry about it. Having confidence in yourself coming to GMing against real players. I wrote the game and my team is no good, so don't worry about it. Don't worry about it at all. It's just we're all just having fun. Just a fun league to be part of and part of this thing for Wolverine Studios here. And so don't worry about your experience or how well you could do or anything like that. We're just having fun with this. Let's take a look and see if there's been anything interesting happening around the league here in the season news. Doesn't look like much of anything there. The power rankings. Chicago, not surprisingly, number 1. OKC is 2. Yes, Cards, we are going to work on implementing that. If you lose to Charlotte, you go to the G League. Although Charlotte is not the last team in the power rankings, that would be Los Angeles right now. But Charlotte's right there. And as you can see there, I am 26th in the league. It looks like a rebuild year for the Orlando Mystics. So if I have good players that you're interested in, DM me in the Slack channel, and we'll see what we can do. Let's see. This week's player of the week was Jason Demanby. We saw a couple of nice games from him early on in the week there, so no surprise that he picks up that award. Any new injuries? Matt Metcalf from Brooklyn. So Sophisticated Films takes over Brooklyn, and Matt Metcalf goes down with a broken hand already. He's a 5-star potential player. And just a rookie, so definitely a bright spot in their future, but going to be without him for about 2 months. Let's see, scanning for any new injuries that are at least bigger ones. Man, Milwaukee has had a rough go of it with the injuries. But it doesn't look like anybody else has picked up any serious injuries in that first week there. Breeze asked the question for in-game settings, what is trading date restrictions? I'm confused on what that means as a game option. That means that in the NBA, when a player is traded or signed, or there's different amounts of time they have to stay on the roster before they can be traded again. So you can that's what that means. You can either turn that option on or off if you want it to be as real as possible, or if you don't like that and you just want to be able to trade players as often as you like. Let's take a look around the league leaders here. John Stackhouse is leading the league at 31 points per game. There's Jerry Riggs. He was a player of the week. Both him and Sean Roberts were the first 2 players of the week, and they were featured in our WSBA recap in the blog post on WolverineStudios.com today. So you can get to know a little bit more about those guys. Let's see who's leading in assists per game. It is James Warren. He just picked up his 3rd triple-double of the season in the last game there. And Darren Lay with 9.9 assists is 3rd after Lee Taylor 2nd. Rebounds per game. Josh Gray, Danny Brum, Tomas Lopez. Early on in the season, hitting those boards. Quick update of the standings around the league. Philadelphia and Toronto locked at 8-2 atop the Atlantic Division. Chicago starting to run away with the Central. Toronto has won 7 straight. Impressive there after a slow start. The Southeast Division, not much going on here. This is a rough start for everybody. Miami 6-4. Washington 5-3. Houston has now lost 3 straight games, so coming back to earth after their unlikely perhaps 7-0 start. OKC 10-1, now the top team in the West, also winners of 7 straight and 9 of their last 10. And LA, the Commodores 7-3 atop the Pacific. And our new owners coming to Golden State, 7-4 for Kelly, and Brooklyn 5-5 for Sean Marks here. And there's Jeannie. Kelly checking in. Thank you for your subscription, by the way. We appreciate that. And he's ready to take Golden State to the championship. Jeannie has been a long time supporter of the game, so excited to see him as part of the league now. All right, let's continue on here. Let's see. LAC and Houston, a couple of 7-3 teams. That looks like the game of the day here, so let's get rolling. Really starting to feel like it's going to be OKC and Chicago here in the finals. Cards. Well, did I cheat cards? Yes. I have the code in there to make sure that I beat cards anytime that we play. 107.89. I'll let him even take a look at this box score here and just see how wrong things went for him. As bench mob here for Orlando, Mintz, Stevenson, and Jackson. Jackson 25 points off the bench. Heck of an impressive game there for Shane Jackson. Just a 2.5-star player. So he's had a couple of decent games here. I might have to be talking to my coaching staff about getting this guy some more minutes. Either that or this coaching staff's going to have to be moving on so I find somebody who's going to give him some minutes. But yeah, big game for Jackson there. Let's see. Take a look at the top performers too. Ron Kennedy. What a perfect name for a guy from Toronto. Almost should have been Ron Canada. Maybe we should edit it and make him Ron Canada. Frank Johnson, Georgi Dimitrova. 76 points out of those two combined. Toronto's going to win a lot of games if they have that duo going on like that. Let's keep it going here. Big game here. Brooklyn and Denver. A couple of our human owners, and Chicago on the slate tonight as well. Cleveland, Marvin McDonald, another big game there. Chicago does it again, 12-0. Fantastic start for the Bison. There's a win for Brooklyn and a loss for Denver. Everybody's happy in that one. Denver looking for that number 1 pick. Curtis Tarkanian, 41 points to lead the Hoops to a victory in Denver there. and 15 rebounds. Somebody's got to take down Chicago sooner or later, I would think. Let's go on here to the... let's see. There we go. Slight technical difficulty on that screen there. Charlotte does it. Second one of the season. Charlotte is moving on up. Shambatasvili with another triple-double. Charlotte with the 112-94 upset over Detroit. Houston wins another one. Washington with a nice win there over Minnesota. Philadelphia reeling as they get blown out by OKC. Hopper, Sean Roberts, seen those guys' names a lot at the top of the scoring leaderboards this year. And OKC rolling as well. All right, the Hoops have the chance here to take down the Bison. Either that or they're the next victim in line. We'll see. Charlotte back to their losing ways. Chicago, no surprise there, another win. Yeah, OKC has at least a three-headed monster. They are tough. But not as tough as Chicago, Chicago just will not be stopped so far. Ben Greer with 41 and 4 steals on the night. There's Jerry Riggs again, 32 points for Dallas. All right, Van. Big game. Kelly, nobody owns... Oh, yes, somebody does own the Bison. Who is Chicago's owner? I have to get used to all the screen names with the owner still. Still putting that together in my head. We're only 2 sims in here. I'm going to take some time to get that going. But Van, coming for you here on the November 12th sim. James Warren, another triple-double. Wow, interesting score, 96-69. Whoops. Guess we weren't quite ready for that game. That's okay. We're on our way to the number 1 pick. We have the modern lottery setup, so you don't have to be the worst in the league to get the number 1 pick. McDonald 35 for Cleveland. And the Warren triple-double, not enough for Philadelphia. Denver does a great job of making the games close and then finding a way to lose right at the end. All part of their number 1 pick scheme. Milwaukee gets another crack at the Bison here on the 13th. Brooklyn with a nice win. McDonald again, big for Cleveland. Charlotte can't get the job done in Toronto. Chicago, another win. Jerry Riggs leads Dallas to another win. Portland over Houston. Utah over mini Oklahoma City. Yeah, Milwaukee's had a lot of injury issues. We can check. We can also check for any new big injuries here. I know Chicago was worried about some of their guys being injured, and yet they're still winning. Denver, Al Fine has broken his arm. He's out until January. Milwaukee still has 5 guys on the injury report, including Roger Berlin, who's done for the year with that torn MCL. But a couple guys will be returning for them. I lost Omar Belair's in that game against Philly. That's why he only played 2 minutes, obviously, with a broken foot. So that's a tough blow for me. That's obviously why we're bad right now. That's why. Nothing else too bad there. Quick save, as we've got 2 more days, the 14th and the 15th, to finish up for the night. And then we'll do a quick recap and send everybody on their way. 4-game slate here on the 14th. Memphis picks up a win over Golden State. Portland over New Orleans. Oklahoma City, no surprise there, with a big win. And Phoenix and Sacramento, 2 sub-500 teams battling it out there. All right, 15th, last sim of the night for this week. We've got... I was jinxed. Rizzo and his Wasps taking on Brooklyn. Can Philly grab a win here? They are undefeated at home, so we'll see if they can keep that going. I've got GM Games Chris, and they are undefeated at home, so probably a loss for me. Detroit going to Chicago. Can Detroit be the one? Let's get it going. Charlotte falls again. There you go, Cards. There's a win for Philly. Oh, first home loss for Toronto. Dealt to us. No jinx. No jinx for us. Larry Logan. That's the first time we've seen his name this sim. I wasn't really worried about it, Chris. You're in better shape than I am. Denver blown out. So let's take a look. We'll save it and take a look with the updated standings as we finish off this episode of the WSBA for the week. Toronto 10-4, leading the Atlantic. Chicago still undefeated at 15-0. Southeast, and that Atlantic is pretty competitive, actually. New York's the only team that's fallen out of there. Washington and Atlanta bring some respectability to the Southeast. Memphis has climbed into the top spot in the Southwest after a brutal sim for Houston. OKC 13-1. They just keep winning. And Golden State, even though Genie hasn't taken the reins officially yet, he will be inheriting an 11-5 first place team now. And we'll get him set up when everything up. As always, I will try to update the website and the league files either later tonight or early in the morning, so you can download and update then. For our new guys, I'll give you DMs with the full league file first that you can download, and then after that, you can just get the updates like everybody else. Player of the week 2 was George Dimitrova for Toronto. So at least you've got that consolation there, GM Games, Chris, that you scored a Player of the Week award, if that helps. So I want to thank all of our owners who came to the chat and did a great job. I love the activity in the chat, and as well as any viewers who stopped by to see what the WSBA is all about. We hope to keep increasing new people coming to see the streams and see the league and find out about the league, and also join, as we had a couple of new members now this week, and I'm sure we'll have some more very soon. We're being very selective. We want people who can come to the streams and be active on our social media channels and be writing blog posts and stuff like that. Hopefully we'll get some blog posts going for this week so we can have some more content to share. It's being really well received on our social channels, so keep the blog posts rolling in, and we'll be back here next Wednesday for the rest of November here in our WSBA league. So thank you for coming tonight. Friday night we've got the College Football Developer Dynasty. Tuesday night, College Basketball Developer Dynasty, and right back here Wednesday of next week at 7:30 for more WSBA action. Thanks everybody, and we'll see you soon.